advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information that is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Jost, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Jost.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Rock My Finances. And this is a great series because I've been working for years and years with a lot of people, and I've answered a lot of questions about money. And in the financial services industry, there's a lot about the specifics and, stocks and bonds and rate of return and all that fun stuff. But nobody talks about the emotions around money. So that's what I'm here for today. And so I have just accumulated all these questions over all these years, and I decided to do a series. So this is called Live Your Diamond Life and Your Authentic Q&A for Women. This is chapter 5. I'm glad you're here. Why doesn't more money feel like peace? We all feel like we just need more money to answer all of our problems in the world, right? If we just had more money, we could go on vacation, we could pay off our debt, we could buy the next house, we could buy our cabin in the mountains, we could buy our beach house, we could get a better car, we could have better clothes, we could even lately, it costs so much money to buy organic and to buy like our makeup and our skin products and our hair products. All that stuff has an upcharge to it just to be healthy, right? So we're always thinking of more money would solve so many problems. And that is true to a certain extent. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. When they say money doesn't buy happiness, I disagree with that, y'all. I love money and I love what it buys. It absolutely buys me happiness. Now, is that the only happiness? Absolutely not. Can I be happy without money? Absolutely. And that's the trick. It's how we feel about the zeros. And if we can feel really good without the zeros and still feel that joy, that is the trick, because that energy will manifest more of that energy, which will naturally bring in more of the money. So we're going to talk about mindset here. We're not going to talk about actual rate of returns and investments and things like that. So here's the first question that's been proposed. Number 1, why doesn't more money make me feel safe? Isn't that a good question? So I know a lot of us, money equates to security. It equates to safety. Obviously, it equates to having choices, right? If I had more money, I could have a different choice. I could live in a different neighborhood. I could maybe get a different job because I might have a really nice fat savings to fall back on, take my time finding a better company, or I could take my time starting my own business. So there's a lot of things that money can do. And why doesn't it make me feel safe? So what's underneath of that is safety is not created by money itself. It's actually created in childhood. So if your early environment felt unpredictable, either financially or emotionally, and that's the trick right there, is our relationship with money is just like our relationship with everything else. It's a relationship. We have the same type of relationship with people, with our spouses, with our lovers, with our friends, with coworkers, as we do with money. So that is something I hope you can take away from today. What the way we feel about one thing is the way we feel about everything. So sometimes we're blaming money when we actually are mad at our partner. Our partner totally did something that has just broke the camel's back. And now we can see our numbers and we see our bank accounts and we have to spend money. So we have to spend time doing money, and we blame money for actually our partner might have done something at the party last night that made me feel like crap. And so it made me feel little or belittled or betrayed. And then I turn it into how I feel about money. So we have to separate our relationships and how we feel about things. So now let's go back to childhood. In our early environment growing up, whoever handled money and whoever you saw handling money, you could have visited aunts and uncles and grandparents and neighbors, and they were discussing wealth and money and investments. And that's who you saw talk about this. And if that's the case, how did they talk about it? Here's the better question. How did you feel about money when they were talking about it? Were they happy? Were they excited? Were they planning trips and buying cars and just talking about how great life was when they played with their money? Or were they the opposite? Did it feel tense to you as a child? Maybe one person in the household was doing the bills and they were really angry all the time every month when they were doing the bills, or they were afraid. They were scared because they didn't have enough money to pay the bills, or whatever it is. You might not ever know what it was, but just the feeling as a 5, 6-year-old, 7-year-old child watching someone take care of money. And if they didn't feel good about it, guess what? You had a learned behavior right there, or a learned subconscious belief or thought that money equates pressure, stress, anger, sadness, depression. Whatever you saw, that goes into our subconscious. So it does take a little excavating if we want to have amazing money beliefs and amazing money thoughts and behaviors. We do have to excavate how we came up with our current thoughts and behaviors. So again, number one, why doesn't money make me feel more safe? Okay, so how did it feel in childhood? Was your nervous system ever alerted? Did it make you feel safety doesn't last? Maybe I felt safe until they started talking about money, or I felt safe until somebody came home drunk or something. I grew up in an alcoholic home, and gotta love them. Gotta love them. They did the best they could. My dad passed at 94, and he didn't drink the last few years of his life. And so my mom's still alive. She's doing great. She's 93. And so they did the best they could, right? But I did grow up in a very unpredictable household. I didn't know what was going to happen when I walked into the door. With money, when I was born or when I was young, they had none. Like, they were broke as heck. I did not experience any thoughts from that at this point in my life. I don't remember anything from there. I just remember growing up, I felt secure in the beginning of my life. Thank goodness. And then my parents owned their own business, and then that's when we started doing well. So I never had a problem around money. In fact, we used to have quarters in our house because we owned newspaper stands, and they would pay for the newspapers with quarters. So my dad would have my friend Diana and I reach into the coffee can of quarters, and with our little hands reach in there and grab a handful of quarters, and that's what we got to spend at the mall that day. And it usually always equated to about $10. And so that was my allowance for the week. And that's the way it was for years and years and years and years. Like, it was just so fun. So money to me was fun. I enjoyed it. I had a blast. My mom was extremely frugal, so I grew up frugal. Like, if you look at your patterns of how you grew up around money, you're going to see a lot of similarities in your adulthood right now. So if your money doesn't make you feel safe, we have to look back at that. It's not about the money. We have to find out why we didn't feel safe. So if we grew up in an unpredictable household, then we want to have more stability as our adulthood, right? So just little things that I do. I make sure that I have plates by my front door. So my keys and my purse all go into the same place. I have a lot of rituals that I do before I leave the house. Look at this, look at that, so I don't forget things. I try to keep some type of normalcy throughout the day, and the week, and the seasons now, right? Because every season's a little bit different. Just moved into a new house last year. So I'm creating new things, which is very upheaval when I'm moving in, and, not everything is stable. I feel a little like, okay, what's going on? And of course, my money is going to reflect that, right? Because that's how my energy feels. So my money's up and down when I'm feeling up and down. So it's not about the money. The money comes after our emotions. So our emotions come first. So look at your nervous system. How can we create safety in our nervous system without looking at our bank accounts and blaming our bank accounts. Even when money increases, our body still stays in that anticipation mode or the what if mode, waiting for the other shoe to drop, walking on eggshells. It still stays there, no matter, because it comes from our feelings first, even if we have lots of money. So we're going to say a couple things. In the morning, as soon as you rise, I rise with the sun and I go outside and I put my feet on soil, bare feet on soil. Yes, at 30 degrees, 20 degrees, which I have done. It doesn't matter. Just feet on soil. Might be for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 10 seconds, depending on how cold it is. And I put my hand on my heart and my hand on my stomach. And I take 3 deep breaths. And I just greet the morning. I'm here. I'm safe. I'm okay. I'm stable. And it just rewires our thoughts. I am safe. Nothing is being taken from me. I can sit for 60 seconds. We're training our body to experience safety without conditions changing. So if we do that every morning, and then we say, I'm safe, I'm happy, and I'm going to make it an amazing day, whatever your mantra is. Say your mantra when you wake up in the morning and you go out and greet the sun, or whatever the weather is. It works all year round. It's amazing. It tells yourself that you're safe. Now, I'm also going to say set an alarm on your phone, which is what I had to do in the beginning because I get busy throughout the day and I forget. I started with 3 times a day doing that same thing, taking deep breaths, 3 deep breaths, putting my hand on my heart and my stomach, calming my nervous system. You could do box breathing, in for 4, hold 4, out 4, hold 4, in for 4, out 4, hold for 4, that box breathing, any type of breathing that you think works better or works for you to calm your nervous system down. When you're not feeling safe, we can trick our brain to feel safe just by words and breath. I hope that helps you. Then we look at our numbers and we create a plan. For those who do not feel safe around money, I really recommend a financial advisor or a money coach because an advisor can give you a plan, one that you can relate to. I know a really good one, just saying, reach out. rockmf.com, just saying, reach out to me. But you actually can learn from an advisor to help you feel safe. So if you have any questions, you want to ask them. I want to know exactly where my dollars are going, where they went. I need help doing this. I want to know where they're going to go. What do I need not to eat cat food for the rest of my life? Like, I want to know that there's not going to be another shoe to drop. And if they're good, like what we do here at Diamond Life Planning, we make sure that we're looking at inflation. We're making sure that we're looking at all the things that could possibly come up. Rate of return could affect your life moving forward, and illness, any of that. And so we look for the other shoe to drop so that you can feel safe and secure. And that's exactly what we do here. So you want to make sure that you can do that to help you. I've sat with people before that had an amazing financial advisor and their husband's on it. Everything's great, but she was still stressed out. And once I sat with her and explained to her the numbers and what the numbers actually mean, she was completely fine. But we have to understand what's going on. And some of us, it takes us a long time because we never were introduced to money, financial words, the industry. We always felt shame and blame around it, and we're stupid and we don't know enough and I don't have enough and why would anybody want to talk to me and all that stuff, right? I mean, I didn't even get into investing until in my 40s. So we definitely are late 30s at least. And so I didn't know anything. I was a single mom and I owned a couple of businesses, but I didn't know anything about investing and financial planning. So no one's out there knocking on our doors, right? So we want to know that that's okay. And it's okay to learn and it's easy. Women make the best investors and the best clients for financial planning because once you're educated and you understand it in your words that you need to hear it in, you are a badass. Like, it's so amazing. I love, love, love it. Okay, question number 2. Why do I feel more pressure the more I earn or the more income I have? Ooh, this is a good one. So what is underneath that pressure? You likely became the responsible one early in life. You might have been the first hero child. You had love, approval, and stability came from performing or achieving or maybe just holding the family together. So the more you did good, the more you behaved correctly, the more, I guess, love, adoration, maybe you even got gifts, maybe you even got more money, maybe you got more allowance. All of that was showing you that the more you do better and the more you do good, the more you're going to make. So, unfortunately, now money equals you performance. Are you any perfectionists out there? I love it. I am too, for different reasons, but absolutely. And so we want to switch that belief. I mean, I did work a lot less several years ago when I started going through all of the money coaching myself, and I doubled my income. So I worked a lot less and doubled my income. So what you do is not equated to what you earn. So we're going to change that belief. So here's an exercise for you. We're going to write down. I talk about journaling all the time because that's the way we get it out of our body. So go get your money journal. And yes, you get to purchase one if you haven't had one already. And we're going to write down, if I made less money, would I still be worthy? Oh, I'm sorry. Scratch that. If I made less money, I would still be worthy because, and then we're going to fill that in. We're going to force our brain to separate identity from doing, from the output that we do. So we're going to say, again, if I made less money, I would still be worthy because I live every day in trying to be happy and joyous, because money is not equated to my honesty, my personality, my ethics. Money is not equated to my value that I give the world. When I walk down the street and smile to someone, that is doing something amazing. Money is not equated to that. Money has nothing to do with who I am as a human being. Money, I believe, is just energy, right? It's a tool that we have chosen as a society to give, to pay for goods and services. That's all it is. We give money way too much credit. We give the more money, the better person you are. That's baloney, y'all. That is so baloney. Because look at a lot of people with a lot of wealth, and they are not good humans. Now, there are a lot of humans that are great that have money, but money has nothing to do with how good you are. Think of someone as just the best person you know, and think of their money. Like it has nothing to do with that. So we want to separate being a good, valued human in this society versus money. It's completely two different things. So we're going to write down these things. And then I want you to write down, I am worthy of wealth because, and any negative connotations that come up, those are the ones we're going to cross out, and we're going to replay those with something positive. So I am worthy of wealth because, and then the first thing comes to my mind could be, I don't have a college degree, so I'm not good enough. That did come to my mind before I got my college degree, because I went back to school as an adult. I thought I wasn't worthy enough until I had my bachelor's. So that was a thing for me. And I had to cross that out to say, okay, I have so much to contribute to this society without a college degree. A lot of people have a lot of street smarts. A lot of entrepreneurs don't have a college degree. You could just be a great human that can sit there and listen to people and help them. And it doesn't have anything to do with a college degree. So we want to also write down, I am worthy of wealth because, and then anything negative that comes out, that's your work. That's your homework. You get to work on that side of it, because that's what we want to switch our belief in. Okay. Number 3, last question. Why do I feel like I could lose it all at any moment? Ooh, that's a good one. What's underneath of that is past experiences of loss, financial instability, divorce, betrayal, or sudden change. It creates a stored belief that things don't last. Could say love doesn't last. Joy doesn't last. And that's inside there. So we want to change that. We want to get that out. So instead of enjoying money, you brace against losing it. So you might hang on to money really, really, really tight. I mean, I'm proud of being frugal. I love it. It brings me joy, but it's not because I'm afraid. It's because it brings me joy. I love a deal. I love a bargain. I love to give my clients bargains. I love all that. But if you don't love it and you're doing it because of scarcity, that's a different thing. So our exercise here is write 3 examples where, number 1, things worked out, where you thought things weren't going to work out and things worked out. So I always say the universe has always got my back. And so give 3 examples of that. And then give 3 examples of something horrible happened and you recovered. It doesn't have to be terrible, but I got a flat tire. It can be terrible, right? It can be traumatic. I survived a childhood of adult alcoholics, right? I survived that. I did great. I survived a very emotional, abusive 10-year marriage. I survived that. I survived trauma, right? It could be that. So I want to hear either things worked out, you recovered from something, write these down, or you adapted to something. So like my mom is aging right now and she's in assisted living. So I'm adapting to how to learn to be a caregiver. And that's not my forte, y'all. I am not a great caregiver. So I'm very nurturing to children, young children, just saying. But I'm not a great caregiver. So I'm adapting to making sure my mom's okay and I talk to her and see her enough. So that teaches our brain that even if something changes, I'm okay. In fact, that might be a mantra that you want to do when you go step out on the soil in the morning. Things are okay. I'm going to be okay. Even when things change, I'm going to be okay. I hope that all sounds good, y'all. Come back to another episode of Live Your Diamond Life Q&A for authentic women and get your questions answered. I want you all to be able to say, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.